What is up, everyone? This is Coach Austin here, coming to you from my kitchen, owner of Hyper Strength and Conditioning here, and today we're going to be going over how your body reacts, what really happens to your body when you start meal prepping. Everyone's like, well, obviously, also you're gonna lose weight. You're gonna lose fat. It's easy. But like, what are the three things? Like, what are the first three things to happen to your body when you start meal prepping and all that stuff? And today, I am joined here by this is not a sponsored video, by the way. Not yet. But lovely friends from Lean Feast, Silicon Valley. We are in talks. We were just talking to each other, but they gave us a generous meal package for us to try out. And again, they don't sponsor us and all that, so I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know, FYI. Not yet though. But yeah, today, meal prep, we got grilled chicken, we got green beans, and we got breakfast hash. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Green beans. Focus on my face. It's okay. So green beans and then breakfast hashes in the bottom because I gotta get my carbs. I just freaking did a killer upper body workout. So so I'm on this thing. I'm on the hype. I don't have time to cook because I'm always on the go. I'm always doing things. So to my wife's resistance, I'm on the meal prep because that's just the best way for me to hit my macros and to hit a steady caloric deficit. Because if it's on my own, I'm gonna be cooking some like good shit. It's like meal prep mukbang. But it's like, Austin, don't eat with your mouth full. I had to get the breakfast hash. They usually give it for breakfast, but like, it's hella bomb because they put like some low-fat cheese on it, but it's like, oh, it's so good. So, going over. So meal prep, it's not a new thing, right? Everyone's been doing it. There's a ton of meal prep companies that have been open and closing because it's such a low barrier to entry, right? One of the things you gotta look out for when you're doing meal prep is you gotta make sure, like, you gotta figure out where they're cooking the food. Are they cooking in their home kitchen, or are they cooking in the kitchen that's like searched and licensed by the health department? You know what I mean? Like, there's no rats, right? I mean, how much can you trust a home of a stranger when they're cooking food? I'm just saying. Like, family, I get it. There's a potluck and all that stuff. I like how you can see our bread. Look at that. My wife's gonna kill me. Cause she's like, oh my God, I didn't clean the kitchen yet. But we just moved in, so some things are gonna be out of place. But we got that bread's for free. My sister-in-law, Jolene, call her friend. Like, she got us some, like, she does like a bread man at her work. And apparently at Visa, where my wife works at, there's like a bread man that delivers bread for free. That's pretty awesome. So, when you start meal prepping, it's kind of really predetermined. Like, when either you do it at your home or you buy a service, right? So if you do it at your home, it's up to you to measure the food and all that stuff. If you just like if meal prepping to you is just cooking your own food, that's already a great start. But to go over the main 3 points, so you guys, I'm not like freaking like lagging, so you guys know what I'm gonna go over. The main 3 points that I'm trying to go over is when you start meal prepping, when you start being consistent and hitting a caloric deficit with proper macros, that's the goal of meal prepping. You're hitting you're prepping your meal that's supposedly healthy. That's like kind of the assumption that meal prep. So I mean, pizza could be meal prep, but I'm just saying we're assuming that your meal is gonna be healthy. You know, they go 4, 6, or 8 ounces of protein, 4 ounces of carbs, and then unlimited vegetables. That's kind of the standard. It gets your carbs in check. It gets your fiber in check. Not a lot of people eat a lot of fiber nowadays, and it gets your protein in check. So the first thing that happens is you start losing water, like water weight that you retain. And everyone's like, what? Like, what do you mean water weight? I don't drink much water. But like, if you're not on a certain diet, if you're just eating to eat, I mean, today's foods is all covered with, I mean, it just has sodium. There's like a fuck ton of sodium and a fuck ton of carbs. Like sodium and carbs. People are on a budget or people just want something quick and go. It's usually like carb and sodium. Chips, even snacks like granola bars are carbs and sodium. You know, fast food, all that stuff. You know, it happens. We're all busy. We have freaking lives. We're all busy professionals, whatever. So the moment you start actually regulating that, you start eating meal prep consistently, and you don't, and you're really strict. You stop eating fast food. You immediately lower your sodium intake, and you immediately lower your carb intake. You're still eating carbs, but you reduce it. So all those water molecules, I think it's like 2 to 1. 2 water molecules to 1 carb. I don't know, something like that. But water hangs on to the carbohydrate molecule. When you reduce carbs, water is released. Sodium, when you don't have much sodium, water is released. And that's how you kind of lose your first initial pounds. It's great, it's great. It's a great momentum changer. And it's great for your motivation, and you're feeling like, oh man, okay, like you lose your first 4 pounds or 5 pounds because you're just eating, you're not eating shit. So it's good. Usually I'll be done with this, but since I'm making a video, I'm taking my time. That's the first thing, you lose water. Second thing, you're gonna start getting grumpy. No joke. Even all the people who like eat to compete, not like eat like Joey Chestnut. Shout out to Joey, but like Joey Chestnut, not Joey Chestnut, but like if you eat like physique or bodybuilding or even fighting, you're preparing for a fight, cutting weight, wrestling, whatever. Like you get fucking grumpy because you're not eating your usual thing. You're getting out of a habit and into a new one. And your body, you're gonna feel certain ways. So mental and emotional is gonna be affected, and it's not so much because willpower can be broken, but you have to come in with the mindset of like, I need to develop this habit for a better cause, for a better health, for whatever you're trying to do. It has to be bigger than you. Yeah, we're all just doing it for ourselves, but deep down inside, we're doing it for someone. To prove someone wrong, to show something off, like whatever. Yeah, you say you do it yourself. That's cool. I mean, I say it too. Like, I'm on this because in November, I'm the heaviest I've ever been at 244, and you know, running a business and doing all these things, it takes stress out, and you know, and it came to the point where I'm like, I need to keep this shit on lock, you know. So, kind of started moderating. I didn't go to meal prep right away. I just started moderating what I ate. Just went consistent with it. Just lowered the calories and all that. Started getting rid of sugars. Cut 10 pounds. And now I'm like now I started meal prep with a lean feast. And it's going well. Now I'm like steadily going down. It's a process, you know. It took me like 2-3 months to like mentally like get going, and then now it's like really dialing it in. As you can tell, I'm getting ready for summer. So, but yeah, so that's how it is. And when people jump into meal prep right away and then they start working out, they're so gung-ho, within the second week, they're fucking grumpy, they're fucking snappy. It's normal. And if you have a partner, you have a, you know, significant other or a family or a friend, a good friend that's going through it, you have to understand that, you know, it's tough. And if you're going through it yourself, you have to be mindful of that. You can't be snapping at your people. What usually helps is you add a little bit more carbs into your diet, because you start, people who stress out a lot, you know, they raise the cortisol and all that fun stuff. But we found that, because my clients and when I work with in Silicon Valley, there's a lot of techies, right? They're always on deadlines, they're stressed out because, you know, they're like grinding, writing code or whatever. And you even got like people who are busy, you know, being doctors or nurses or whatever. But people with busy lifestyles, I don't tell them to reduce carbs right away. They still need to keep their carbs, but I say just get them in better ways, get better carbs, and just reduce the caloric intake in general. If you reduce carbs on a busy professional as a client, they're gonna fucking hate you. So you do that slowly. You slowly take out, you take out the carbs slowly as you adapt to it. You don't fucking go carbless right away. Unless you're doing keto, then, you know, more power to you. There's nothing wrong. Keto, intermittent fasting, as long as you do it consistently. But today we're talking about meal prep. The third thing is when you start leaning out, you're gonna start losing inches. You might see it on the scale, but really pay attention to the inches because like I said in the beginning, you're gonna start losing water. And that means your muscles are gonna start getting leaner. Your body's gonna start getting leaner because it's not retaining more water. And you're gonna start losing inches within your arms and your legs. If you're consistent with it. If you're not consistent with it, you might gain weight. Because I actually had this conversation with one of my coaches, Ann, before I got here when I was working out. He's like, yeah, man, like this is from him. Like, if you can't stay consistent for 3 weeks and you go back to your old ways, like eating like shit, man, your body's gonna rebound so hard because it's like, oh, look at all the sodium and carbs I get to eat again. Many of your cravings are gonna come back. So yeah. Golden world, perfect world, you'd be able to meal prep breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But we all know in a perfect world doesn't fucking exist. If you're gonna start meal prepping, I highly suggest you start meal prepping your lunch or your dinners. Just do that. What are the guidelines? I mean, I actually am going off what they're going off. Like, this meal that I'm eating is about 550, 600 calories. 6 ounces of grilled chicken, 4 ounces of the breakfast hash browns with the mozzarella cheese, but it's like healthy cheese, and then unlimited like green beans. So that's about like 84 grams of carbs, 50 grams of protein. I mean, it's a little on the higher side on the carbs, but it's like, dude, I just got done working out. This is like my post-workout meal. And then like fiber. I'll eat orange. More fiber. But that's it. Just be consistent with it. So I would start replacing lunch and dinners if you're gonna do meal prep. Breakfast, you can do it on your own. Just don't make it too high sugary on the breakfast. FYI disclaimer, I'm not a registered dietitian. I'm not a doctor. Before you start anything, you go to your doctor. All right, we'll talk to your registered dietitian. We'll talk to someone who's medically licensed. All right, I'm not a freak. I'm just a coach. I'm just a strength coach. You know, all that fun stuff. I have a lot of experience helping people, you know, change their body and all that fun stuff. But before you start, you know, doing all these things that I'm saying, I mean, I'm just saying, like, the things that I'm talking about have worked for the clients that I've worked with, but it's always best to talk to your medical professional before starting anything, just so you know. But other than that, that's about it. So the 3 things that happen to your body, you know, you lose water, you get grumpy, and you lose inches. That's the 3 things that really happens to your body when you start meal prepping consistently. And bonus facts, a typical meal prep cadence is like either 4 to 6 or 8 ounces of protein. Really depends on what you're trying to do. You know, if you're trying to build muscle, you know, eat more protein. You know, 6 to 8 ounces. If you're really just trying to like reduce calories all in general, then 6 ounces of protein, 4 ounces of protein. If you're a woman, you know, lower, you know, because your body doesn't really require too much compared to a dude. And you know, 4 ounces of carbs and unlimited veggies. You know, that's where you start. You could mix and match. You could test it yourself. What works for you? What works for me or my clients doesn't necessarily work for you. But this is all just an educational piece of trying to get you guys pointed in the right direction. I'm gonna kill this now. There's other things to do. I'm really gonna kill this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, lots of water. Drink a lot of water. If you're drinking soda, get the shit out of here, dude. Get ass soda. Well, what about carbonated water? Fine, carbonated water, all that bougie shit, whatever. But this is Coach Austin coming to you from my kitchen with hyper strength and conditioning, and I will see you guys later. Almost forgot. Don't forget to subscribe. One of these buttons, but please subscribe for more weekly videos, more weekly fitness tips, nutritional hacks, and exercise level up unlocking of skills. I said so many words, but yeah, if you could help us grow this channel organically, this would be great. So don't forget to like and smash that like button and subscribe, and we will see you guys later. Okay, bye.